Once you deploy the test, you will enter the Test Options page. On the Test Options page, you can set the availability and feedback options for the test. In the Name field, the name of the test is displayed. In the Description field, you can type a description of the test. Scrolling down underneath the test description, you have the option to show the test description to students before they begin the test. Leave the selection on No to open test in New Window. Click Yes to make the link available to students. If you would like to add a new announcement for this test, select Yes. Check the Multiple Attempts box if you want to allow the students to take the test multiple times. If you want students to take the test only once, leave the Multiple Attempts box unchecked. Select Number of Attempts if you want students to take the test a limited number of times, and type the number of attempts you will allow. If you are using multiple attempts, then you need to pick how you want the attempts to be scored. Click on the arrow next to Last Graded Attempt. You can score attempts using Last Graded Attempt, Highest Grade, Lowest Grade, First Graded Attempt, and Average of all attempts. For example, you can choose Highest Grade to count the highest score between the attempts. Leave Forced Completion unchecked. If forced completion is checked, that means the student cannot go back into the test once they leave it. If they lose Wi-Fi or have any kind of technical difficulties, it will close out the attempt and will not allow the student to go back to complete the test. To set a timer, click on Set Timer and enter the time allotted for the test. Change Auto Submit to On so that students are unable to continue after the time elapses. Be aware that leaving the exam does not pause the time, so you should let students know to take the exam in one sitting. You can choose to display the exam between certain dates using the Display After and the Display Until fields. Test availability exceptions are used to provide extra time, attempts, or different availability for a particular student. To add a student, select Add User or Group. Select the checkbox to the left of that student and click Submit. For that student, you can change the number of attempts, time, availability, and whether to use forced completion. Check off Due Date to add the due date and then select the date and time. Check off Do Not Allow Students to Start the Test if the due date has passed to prevent students from starting it after the due date. In the Self-Assessment options, if this test is a self-assessment, choose to include or hide the scores in the Grade Center. The first checkbox will include this test in Grade Center score calculations. The second checkbox will hide results for this test completely from the instructor and the Grade Center. In the Show Test Results and Feedback to Students section, you can choose when to show test results to students, such as after submission, one-time view, on a specific date, after due date, after availability end date, or after attempts are graded. You can also choose if you would like to show the score on each question to students. You can choose to show all possible answers, correct and/or submitted answers to students. You can also show instructor feedback to students, or if you would like to show the questions that were marked incorrect. Test presentation options include all at once and one at a time. All at once will show the entire test on one screen. One at a time will show the questions one at a time. To decrease chances of cheating, select Randomize Questions. Click Submit. Your test is now ready and available to students in the unit folder.